Strumbo.
What's your name?
Strumbo?
Strumbo?
Yeah.
Oh, word. Cool name.
Thanks.
So, if you could rate your night 1 through 10, how would it be?
I'd say a solid 8.5.
Why do you say that?
I mean,
I think it's
it's a
9.
Friday night.
We got sushi.
Yo, that is
We
true.
went skating. We watched a movie.
That is facts.
I like that
good
you're longboarding with bare feet.
Thank you.
I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
I don't know how she does
How would you
it.
rate your night?
Amazing. A 9. We're having a great time.
How do you guys know each other?
Dating app.
Yeah.
Which dating app?
Bumble.
Bumble.
Yeah.
Do you guys both go to UB?
No.
My friend goes to UB.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm just here a lot.
Are you guys an exclusive couple?
No.
No. Do you guys really enjoy the time you spend together?
Yes.
We spent like 4 times
Yeah.
together.
4 times together? This is a new thing? How long have you known each other for?
I'm pretty sure the day I matched you, I was like, "You want to come skate or something?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a while now, like about a month.
For a month.
Yeah. I'd say about a month.
What is your favorite thing about spending time together?
I don't know.
Skate.
Yeah.
Skating.
I like skate friends.
That is amazing. How long have you been skating for?
Since I was like 10.
Are you a skateboarder or longboarder or both?
I can't do vert for shit, so can I swear by the way? Is that
Yes, our
okay?
TikTok.
Alright, cool. Nah, I don't do vert very much. I just kinda like riding around, so I prefer longboards, but that's just me.
What about you?
I do both. I skate a little bit. I do a little bit of tricks and stuff.
That's so cool.
I go to the Alex Rice and skate sometimes.
Alex Rice is intense.
It is. It's cool.
Alex Rice is scary to go to. Everyone knows what they're doing there, and you don't know what you're doing at Alex Rice, and it's like terrifying.
Yeah, but all
At
the
least
cool
for me.
people come at night, though. That's the
Yes,
thing.
it's even
That
scarier.
is
at
facts.
night.
And it's fun to watch people who are way better than you just absolutely killing it in the bowl.
Yes, it is cool to watch. People in the bowl is absolutely insane.
Yes.
I can do a little bit of the bowl.
Can you do an ollie barefoot? Can you do
No shot.
I don't even know.
Can you do an ollie with shoes on?
Yes, I can.
Can you do a kickflip with shoes on?
No, I'm not there yet.
That's okay. Try a barefoot ollie for the TikTok 1 million.
Okay, I'm a little not sober, so hang on.
That's okay.
I don't know, this is kind of a wide deck.
Hey.
You did it.
It's a little heavy, hang on.
Oh.
I can do little tricks, hang on. There's... It's not gonna let me do that, it's too wet. Hang on.
Take your time.
Nice.
There's that one. This is the same thing. There's also... Oh, I can do this in shoes. I'm gonna eat it. That's pretty much it.
Is skating your passion in life?
It's something I always wanted to do when I was a kid. I thought the skaters were so fucking cool. My mom was always like, no, you can't, because degenerates do that. But here I am, 21, skating.
And not being mean.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. What is your passion in life if not skating? Both of you.
I love helping people and making people smile. That's my favorite.
Do you have an infectious?
Thank you.
And your passion in life?
I mean, kind of similar. I mean, I just enjoy helping people. I try to do that in every sort of thing that I do in my life, and yeah, positivity. You know, just spreading the love. You know, yeah, yeah. Pretty much. You just put it way better.
Yeah. Do you have any final words for our 1 million viewers on TikTok?
No shot, 1 mil.
Yeah.
Damn, nice.
What?
Yeah.
Well-
Talking with people on TikTok.
Wait, no shot.
Yeah. We have 1 million.
No shot. Pull it up.
At talking with people.
All amazing and beautiful people. You're doing a great job in your life. Keep going.
Nice.
Jon, any last words?
I have no final words other than this is like
Yeah, did
literally.
you find her
Nothing
you
is
gotta. Can you
finalized.
type it in for me?
There's
Or?
never any last words. There's always more words.
Say that again. Sorry.
I said nothing is finalized. There's never last words. There's always more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What happens when you die?
Things keep going on.
Yo,
Yeah. See that
no
one?
shot, bro.
Shit keeps
We out here
going.
with the guerrilla marketing. I mean, I fucked with
Not
it.
the only thing that matters. There's more.
I mean, shit. I love these random interactions.
There's always more.
There's more.
There's
You
always more
asked
to
what
it.
happened when you die, and I said there's always more. It's not just the end.
What happens when you die?
That's a.
Try topping that, bitch.
I don't. I mean, I kind of with your boat, but at the same time, as for like what happens consciously when you die,
You don't believe in past lives?
no, it's more so you transcend the realm that you exist on. That's what I like to. So
Do you
yes,
have
your energy.
scientific evidence for
No,
your
I
claim?
don't, and nobody fucking does. But try DMT, kids. No, don't.
No, but there's no real scientific evidence for anything. Like it's all just made up. We're just little people making up little words. None of it actually matters, you know, it never does. We're all just silly little kids pretending. It's literally all just playing pretend. We hand around paper and think that it's worth something. That's so goofy. That's so crazy. Like, that's so dumb. We're all just a bunch of toddlers speaking gibberish and playing pretend.
Have you broken through on DMT?
Oh God, no! Jesus Christ! I'm just saying, try DMT. No.
Acid's a blast. though.
Acid's a blast. Mushrooms are a blast. Yeah, do some mushrooms definitely. If you haven't, have you two
Safely,
done
of course.
mushrooms?
Safely.
No.
That's
You
crazy.
have. He knows what's up. Seriously, like small microdoses, way better with dealing with your own personal shit than any medication that I've ever fucking been on. Do mushrooms. They're great for you. Don't talk to your doctor about it, but
Don't tell my therapist.
no, that's okay. I told my therapist I did shrooms.
What did your therapist say?
He's like, yeah, do nice. Tap me up, you know? Yeah. Nah, he doesn't care. I'm like, yeah, I found this thing, did some research on it, said, yeah, you know what, fuck it, sure. And it's only done me better from there, so yeah, do shrooms, kids.
What's your most profound realization you've had while tripping?
Man, I have too many to count. I should probably keep like a journal or something. I can't even bring one up right now. You have one?
That I don't have control over everything. While I was on acid, I unplugged every electrical thing in the house, and I stared at my fish for an hour because I realized that I wasn't in control of where the fish moved, and that was crazy to like figure out because you know you feel like you're the center of the universe and everything is around you is like,
You are.
but you're not. Everyone thinks they are. But you forget that other people are more than just cardboard, like plasters in front of you. They have the complex emotions and the complex feelings, and they control what they do, and they're the center of their universe. But they're meaningless in yours until you get to know them. Everybody's meaningless and nothing matters, but it's not a bad thing. It's just how people live. I think one of the coolest things that I've been thinking about a lot is the fact that people literally will be born and grow up in the same town that they find love and get married and die in. Going nowhere but where they were born. That is so boring. Why would you want to ever do that? Why wouldn't you want to go somewhere Like, there's so many other places to be.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that you could find... Oh, wait. Do you believe in soulmates?
I believe that there's many of them. There isn't one single one.
Do you believe that you could find the love of your life in Buffalo, New York? Or do you think that they are in Tahiti or Argentina or Japan?
That's a good question. Because,
There's so many people.
see, yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to find it. Like, you have to work for it. It's not just something that appears in front of you. So yeah, it could be somewhere other than here.
What do you mean work for?
Building a relationship takes time. You can't just like meet someone and be like, hi, yes, we're getting married. Because you're spending the rest of your life with someone you just met, a complete stranger. It's not a Disney movie. It's so much, that'd be boring. Why would you want to live your life with someone, not the person to talk to about this, because I've had my heart broken one too many times.
Okay, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a time how your heart was broken?
Oh, it's still broken right now.
Broken right now?
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend, who I'm still painfully in love with, blocked me on everything a few months ago, and I haven't been able to say anything to him. And knowing that I still love him, but it's over, kind of hurts.
Do you think that you can always love... Do you think love ever dies? Like, you were with someone once, and you love them. Do you think you stop loving them, or do you think you always do?
I mean, it'll fade away, but it never disappears. You'll always be reminded of the things that person did. I lived with my boyfriend. I was with him for a year, and I lived with him from 5 months on. And we did everything together. We lived together. I watched him change as a person and improve because I asked him to, and I wanted him to, and I encouraged it. And I still love him because I watched him become the person he wanted to be, and I helped that. And I know that people can't change people, but watching them and helping them really kind of digs it deep.
How did you...
Are you still comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, I'm good.
How did you help them improve?
See, I always told him that I pushed him away, and I always told him that I'm just somebody and I can be replaceable, and his future and his career, they can't just change in a split second. I'm just a person, I don't matter that much, but his future and the way he lives and his happiness is more important than mine, and I always reminded him of that. And I guess he finally figured it out.
I feel like no one's happiness should be more important than your own. If anything, if you really love someone, it should be equal, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm sorry that, I don't know what in that relationship made you feel like their happiness had to be more important than your own, but it shouldn't have been that way.
We were just not very good for each other.
Can I ask you what really went wrong?
For 2 months, I encouraged him to go chase his dream. He's a snowboard instructor. And he did. He went to school, which is in Canada, an 8-hour flight away from here. And so I was alone for 2 months in our apartment. I was alone for about 2 weeks in our apartment. And I packed up everything on my own, and I moved all of our things on my own. And I put it all in a storage unit that his mom was paying for, and that was basically my final goodbye to it, because we ended up kind of drifting apart, and it got really hard because long distance is nearly impossible when both of us have ADHD and we need to like see each other. Object permanence is how, and I ended up being alone on a mattress on a basement floor, crying nearly every night because I was in a shitty situation and I missed my best friend. And on our 1-year anniversary, I flew out to him and I broke up with him because I couldn't take it anymore, and that was probably the worst decision I've ever made.
If you loved them very much and they were your best friends, why did you break up? I understand long distance, but it seems like it caused you so much pain.
He was so busy with school and friends, and I felt more and more alone, and the less he talked to me, the more I thought he didn't like me anymore.
Do you think you kind of felt intimidated by how much he had going on in his life and how long?
I was jealous. I thought that he was finding other people more interesting than I was.
Oh my goodness, you are so interesting.
Thank you.
You said your name is Olivia, right?
Mhm.
Olivia.
With a Y.
Olivia with a Y. I don't even know what you were thinking. You are so interesting. You are
Thank
like
you.
a dream girl, I swear to God.
Thank you.
Never underestimate yourself.
I've been in therapy for over a year now, and that's probably the most proud I've ever felt, is finally being able to do that.
I'm really proud of you too.
Thank you.
Of course. How long have you been broken up with your ex for?
Over a year.
I'm so sorry.
We broke up, and then we stopped talking, and then we started talking again, and then I fucked up again, and we stopped talking, and then we started talking again, and I never told him that I loved him, and so he stopped trying.
Do you love him?
I do.
Why did you never tell him?
Because commitment is terrifying.
Why do you say that?
It's kind of going off of the staying in your hometown and never meeting new people. I don't know what's out there and what's new and exciting and different, and maybe there's something better.
Who's to say you couldn't have done all of these things with them as your partner?
I wanted to.
I'm sorry. One
Thank you.
last question. Why do you think your heartbreak persists?
Because I keep it around. Because I don't want anything else.
Do you think it's comforting to you?
It's kind of self-sabotaging, but yeah, it's comforting. Missing what I had and knowing that maybe it'll come back, but it won't.
If you say it won't, then it definitely won't.
Yeah, that's true. I'm putting bad negative energy into the
You're speaking it
universe.
into existence.
Yeah,
You can have anything you want, Olivia. Truly. Anything.
that's true. But you can't bend the will of people.
Yeah, this is all. That doesn't mean you can't have true love. Do you think you need true love to be happy?
No. I have a lot of passions and things. I love cars. I like fixing cars. I own I own 2 cars myself. I fixed one of them after I got into an accident. I have my friends. I have hobbies like painting and drawing, poetry. Very artsy. I love knitting and all of that stuff. I make clothes. I like fashion. I always have plenty of options to move on into.
How do you, as a person with ADHD, keep up with all of your passions and are able to retain skill in them?
Most of the time it's like, if I want to pick it up, it's probably something that I want to do for someone, and suddenly it's a project that I know how to do. Especially in high school, I joined woodshop. I was in art classes. I liked doing hands-on things. Any skill that I can acquire, I probably will at some point in my life, because it'll all be useful. Like, I like working on cars because everybody always needs a mechanic. I wanted to learn how to weld a little bit so that I can do cool things to my car. I also do interior work for cars because I like personalizing my car. I have grass floor mats right now. I also learn how to drive manual because I think that it's cool. And it just feels like driving, which is why it's one of my passions, because driving it's very freeing. Music is good. I really love listening to music. My therapist basically told me that it's where I get my serotonin from.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Absolutely.
If this ends up on a weird corner of the internet, are you okay with that?
Sure.
Do you like any social media?
Yeah, I do. I think my TikTok is not something stupid, but it's like a weird way of spelling it, and I think I'll have to.
Yes, you can.
Pull it on your phone. We'll show it on the video.
Okay, wait a second. Good idea.
She takes the cake. I could listen to her talk for. God damn. I'm speechless. I
Oh
have
wait,
nothing
can
to
I
say.
ask you a question?
Oh, of course.
If this is personal. Are you guys, it's not an exclusive thing, but I really don't know what's going on with you guys, but are you comfortable with her feelings towards her ex-boyfriend?
Well, I mean, shit. Nobody really gets through life without any sort of like baggage to them. I mean, I have all sorts of baggage that comes with myself, and like I'm really like some of it I would go into, but like other shit is just like I'm not personally proud of. So like, who am I, another person with a ton of things that they've definitely done wrong or fucked up in the past to say or have any sort of like judgment upon somebody else's baggage. That's how I sort of look at it. And I find her case completely understandable because I've also sort of struggled with kind of the similar thing. Also, ADHD, let's go. And a whole other slew of like mental illnesses.
Early diagnosis though. Lucky fucking you, man.
That's both beneficial and detrimental. Like, because I was heavily medicated when I was first diagnosed, when I entered high school. So they like fully medicated me. I was taking Adderall a shit ton, and honestly, like, it fucking absolutely killed me as a person. Like, completely sucked all of like what I felt like what my personality was out of me. What's up? Yeah, especially my creativity and like my motivation, my like drive to actually do things. It completely sucked it out of it. And it was just like, okay, whatever you're hyper fixating on for this week, yeah, you're gonna go really hard at that. And just that was like the downside of it. That's why I don't take my meds anymore. I don't take the ADHD meds anymore because like it doesn't put me in a very comfortable headspace. Combined with another fucked up mental illness I got, DPDR, depersonalization, derealization. That's something that I struggle with on like the daily. Something that's extremely hard to like talk about to people. Granted, I have like some friends that I can talk to on
Why is it hard to talk about?
It's
What is it about
What is
DPDR
that too?
Okay, DPDR, depersonalization, derealization it's very like understudied in. I'm sorry, I'm also like really fucking baked right now.
Okay.
I can't think.
Is it kind of like ADHD in women where it's not really like understood very much?
Yes, and
How exhausting is masking that? Yeah.
it is a fucking
How's the
pain.
burnout?
Listen, like I could really get into how much I just want to like completely quit everything that I'm doing and just sleep for like 6 months. But I know that I can't do that, and I know that I have, you know, a network of people that, you know, depend on me and people that care about me and want to see me succeed. So like that's sort of what makes me wake up in the morning.
People left.
Yeah, I that's also another thing that, are you guys like anthropology majors by chance or something?
No.
Surprising.
Just like people.
But like, nah, I don't know if y'all know All Gas No Brakes on YouTube. that motherfucker is literally my spirit animal. He also has DPDR, and he's just a weird ass motherfucker that loves to drive around the United States and just interview random people at events, like shit like this right here. And I just love his outlook on people in the world, that he can always find something like creative or something to enjoy out of just talking to people. That's something that I try to do, like spurring up random conversations. That's fun and all. But
What a synchronicity it is in your life to always watch this YouTuber who does a similar thing, and now you are essentially
it's
the
weird.
subject.
Maybe
No,
it's
it's
some like
something to
fucked up
relate
like
to.
mimicking or masking or like.
Something to relate to.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us
It's to
about
unmask you.
yes. Tell us about DPDR and tell us about masking.
Ooh, mask.
I mean, I kind of spoke on DPDR, but masking. I mean, I would say that like we as humans just generally do that. We see something we like somewhere, we copy that shit.
It's a person's attitude.
You copy till you have something of your own. It's my personal philosophy on that. It's what I do user interface and user experience design,
I have an
web
example
development.
for neurotypicals that makes a lot of sense.
What's up?
I have an example of masking for neurotypicals that makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
So masking, you know how when you're dating someone, you pick up a lot of their mannerisms. Like, they say a certain thing and you start saying that a lot. That's because you guys have grown so close that it's like you pick up their funny quirks. Masking is basically like that, but people with like ADHD will pick up on like the teacher's pet or like someone that like a higher like authority loves, and they act like that because they want the praise and appreciation. They want to be able to feel like they're doing good, and then when they get home and unmask, it's exhausting, and that's when the burnout happens, because suddenly there's a loss of who they thought they were and who people think they are, and they're lost because they don't know who they are because they're too busy being who people want them to be.
Do you think that everybody masks, or it is something particular to neurodivergent?
Everybody does. It's just lying, pretending who you are. Because, like, it's kind of like taking 4 different aesthetics and mixing them all up and saying, oh yeah, she is this aesthetic, but she's not. She's just wearing the clothes. It's just playing pretend.
How do you deal with masking? How do you feel about masking in yourself, and how do you deal with that?
Well, right now the only thing I mask at is work, because I feel like they're less accepting of most of what I deal with, because there's still new people to meet. So
Where do you work?
At work, I work at Core Life. And so when I like have like a mini meltdown because something is too overstimulating, I kind of like hide from it so that nobody knows what's going on, because I don't feel comfortable in that space yet. So it is a little difficult at work, and I'm still getting a lot of burnouts, but hopefully it'll get easier.
Yeah.
A lot of words.
Yeah, we've kept y'all for a while.
That
Any
is-
final?
No. That's a really, really good, solid explanation of it.
Yeah,
I like talking just
we
about
appreciate
things.
it. Thank you both.
We enjoy listening.
Yeah.
Same here, but like I don't know. I've gotten to the point where like at work, I don't really like mask or try to like hide my inside like actual personality. Like I like to let that shine through in how I talk to people at work. Just because it's a lot more accepting of a crowd there, and I've managed to build a cool network of friends there. So I like to let a little bit of me show through my young ass self on this old ass. Oh my god, it's so funny. I mean, we got like a few like 23, 24-year-olds, but like a lot of the desk is like 50 plus. So they old, but nah, they all love me. So I don't know. Just gonna keep spreading that vibe, I guess. Is that a Beamer?
Where do you work?
I work for Kindrel. which is the offshoot company of IBM. It's their cloud infrastructure.
Awesome.
Side. Yeah. Tech job.
He works from home.
Yeah.
Great.
That is a whole experience in and of itself. Have you guys seen Bo Burnham's Inside?
No.
Good movie. Definitely suggest you watch it. Yeah, working from home is basically like that. Like, I had my own apartment for a little while. Working from home from there was great. Plus, I had a roommate at the time. But I recently had to move back home, so I don't leave the basement. So it has its ups and downs. It's fun though. I'm fortunate that I get to do it because I've worked a lot of shitty jobs in the past, and I'm happy I don't have to do that shit anymore. Hopefully never again, but yeah.
What are some trends you see right now in the technology industry?
Fuck.
Start with cars.
Automation is definitely going to see its debut in sort of taking over a lot of easily automatable jobs. Even at like the highest level, like there's shit already in development for AI that can write code itself, which is scary to think about, but it seems that's where it's heading. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to hop into a job in the cybersecurity field and then just be set for life. But
Do you think that if AI can code and program, that it will soon become useless for people to study coding and programming?
I mean,
make
that's-
that their career,
that-
if AI can just do it.
that's essentially what this. You can Google it. It's a collaboration between Microsoft and GitHub. It's called GitHub Copilot. You literally describe what you want like a function to do. Right now it's in that stage where it still requires human input, but like you say like, oh, I want a function that does this. It'll literally write it for you, like the entire code set. But it'll eventually get to a point where it'll be able to like auto revise code itself and shit like that. But
What's your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I just hope that we can at least establish a world where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You have time to pursue your own passions and things that you're interested in your own lives, and not have to worry about working some shitty ass fucking 9-to-5 job in order to just survive and function on this planet. That's like what I personally believe in. I just want to see all the homies thriving and doing what they love and doing what makes them happy, and not have to put up with all this extra bullshit.
What's your thoughts on UBI?
Yo, Chief. I don't really have any solid thoughts on. I didn't even think I'd be talking about fucking UBI tonight. Jesus Christ.
Do you think, well, you said that
What do you think?
You
I'm an
don't
Andrew
want-
Yang guy? Dear
Well,
God,
because you
no.
were talking about
No, I know
everyone
I sound like
having.
Andrew Yang, but it's only because I'm coming from the technology angle.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that's how he got there.
yeah, that's how he got there. But yeah, Andrew Yang's a cool guy, but nah, he not for the homies enough. It's a cool idea. I mean, we practically had that for the duration of COVID. I know I bought myself some nice things with those extra unemployment checks. Thank you, Cuomo. But I don't know. It'd be a cool thing to test out. I know like several countries have tried it and tried to adopt it.
how can we live in a world where people don't have to live paycheck to paycheck and pursue their own interests without UBI?
I mean, there are plenty of countries that already like exist like that. Like it's a weird like American inclusion thing. This is why I fuck with Olivia. Like, how the fuck can you like live here and not want to be like anywhere else? Like, specifically this country.
Yeah.
It's the way that labor works in this country is so goddamn fucking exploitative and disgusting and just dehumanizing.
Did you know that minimum wage was designed so that you could work full-time, just full-time, and support a family of 4? That's what it was designed for. And now you can barely live as a college student off of it.
You want to know why? Because wages have not increased with productivity. So as we have adopted technology and all these things that have helped improve our efficiency and ability to function and thrive in this world, what our economies and
They make us lazy.
exactly. No.
They make us so lazy.
Yes, that too. Because you need to inoculate the public into where they won't realize the shitty situations that they live in to actually realize what the fuck the rich ass people are getting away with at the top. That's why the education in this country is so dog shit, right? If you have a underclass that is uneducated and cannot realize the situations or what they're existing under, then they can't rise up against that bourgeois class.
We're literally stuck in the same social class cycles.
Yes, it is. Right before the French Revolution.
Parents, yep.
Yeah,
I will
the
never-
wealth
I will never
inequality
get
in this
out of the
country.
hole. I also strongly believe that it's because a large mass of intelligence gets passed through DNA. So we cannot move out of our class because we do not have like the mental capabilities of like being able to think past our class.
All you gotta do is just exploit the working class. Like it's not.
But that's like it'll feel mean and wrong.
Exactly.
So like the like middle to lower like classes are more about kindness because they can't think past like, oh, I have to be mean to move up. They don't want to do that.
I mean, I know a ton of working class Andys that are horrible individuals.
Yeah, but like
Trust me, it would be
The
great. It would be
customers
great
need
if
to-
the working class was actually all lovey-dovey and great and like practice class consciousness and realize that we're all in this together against the ruling class. But unfortunately, there's always bullshit that will unfortunately distract us from the bigger picture of everything.
yeah, like they're shitty to their customers and their boss because they're the people that control them, but they're good to their coworkers because those are the people that are with them, suffering with it.
Also, fun fact, back to like the labor and wage thing. America is the only country that does not have guaranteed paid time off or vacation time out of all OENC
Oh, the
nations.
island.
100. There's at least 100 nations.
We get 0 guaranteed. It either comes with the job or it doesn't. Like I
Yep.
get maybe like a week off for my job.
My dad's been working the same
52.
job since he was 19.
Out of 52.
Yeah,
weeks,
out of
you
52.
only get one.
Granted, I'm thankful that I have a nice 4-day work week. I get my Wednesdays off and my weekends off. So that's like a really it'd be nicer if they were 8-hour days instead of 10 hours, but you know, that would have to increase wages and we don't want to seem to do that, so.
On a lighter note, the world is so beautiful.
That is facts.
It's so beautiful because we've been talking about so many negative and sad things. The world is amazing. Wow. I'm just out, like I'm out here. I'm doing things, I'm meeting people, you guys are cool. Otherwise we would have been strangers. I would have never crossed paths with you. That's crazy. Like it just happened. Oh! Like we were just skating around, and if we would have stopped or if we would have gone faster, we wouldn't have met you guys.
Or been the other way.
Yeah. Or if we
walking
wouldn't have
this way.
skated. Or if we went to drive to the stadium like we were gonna do. We would have never been here in this situation. You never would have heard about my bullshit. All of the stuff I've been through. Not even all of it, but a lot of it. But like, that's crazy that just happens. Like,
Sometimes the universe just does weird shit.
yeah.
I've just had too many random ass occurrences where I'll just divulge into like an hour-long conversation with some random stranger that I've never met before. And those are always like the best conversations
They
because you can
are.
just be open and honest about all of your bullshit because it's unlike where you're talking to like a friend who knows you well and knows like all this shit because they were there with you. It's just refreshing to get that off of your chest, you know?
And none of it matters.
Exactly.
Like, they meet you, they learn your story, and then maybe they would never see you again. Or maybe that, like you guys are doing, that story gets shared. And then suddenly everyone knows this stranger's story, and they probably don't really care because it just sounds like a storybook, you know, like somebody wrote it, made it up. But it's real. It may not like have anything to do with your life or what happens to you, and it won't. But like the center of the universe thing, I am the center of my universe, and you're the center of yours. The fact that we bumped for a few seconds is pretty cool. And the internet is amazing because it makes that makes the bump kind of like weird and impersonal.
Particles move together quicker.
Yeah. But it's also like, you know, the graph that never quite touches the line, but it kind of gets really close. It's like that. The internet does that to people. Like, it gets you almost that close, but like you never really meet, or like you never actually know the person. And that's pretty cool. Like, traveling for a long time was the way to meet people and like do that little bump and meet someone and briefly know them. I've done that a few times traveling. I've been to Florida and I met someone for a few days and he showed me a great time and drove me around and brought me to cool places. And who knows if I'll ever see him again. I mean, sure, Snapchat, but it keeps it impersonal. It kind of like keeps, like you said, the atoms. It kind of keeps them just a little bit apart. Pretty cool.
Internet.
Do you believe in fate? That's a good
In
question.
what?
Fate.
Fate.
Fate's just a word that people want to
Yeah,
put
fate's
on
just
it.
a word. Yeah, I don't think the universe works that way, and
People work that way.
people work that way. You set yourself up for those things.
You make that 2-second decision.
Yeah, exactly. You
Change your
make
path.
those decisions every fucking day. Okay, you can. It's the smallest things can completely impact the flow and how the course of how your day is going. Like literally the fact that we even chose to go skate,
Yeah.
like she was saying.
Because just
like
because I
that.
decided to do something and suddenly we're here. There's so many instances where that's just like crazy. Like I could have been 2 minutes late to work and my whole day would have been different. Like you never know. Maybe I would be at home and not here. Maybe I would be sleeping already. Like I was supposed to hang out with friends, but he forgot he had to go to a wedding, so I really wouldn't be here because that was one of my plans for today. It's weird, things just happen, but it's so cool that they do because you never plan it, and not planning things is the most beautiful thing ever.
I do like me some impulsive decisions.
Life is an impulsive
Yes,
decision.
it really is.
Life is an impulsive decision. The moment you're born, like, I know the babies don't develop autonomy until they're like 3, but that's just like, there's a cool theory behind that where your soul doesn't enter your body until you're old enough to like, that's why you only remember things from like there on. Isn't that cool? But like babies make the decision as to like when they want to cry when they're hungry, or like when they go to the bathroom and all of that. Like it's always just like you're always changing things. There's an infinite amount
It's chaotic.
of
but
endings to the multi-ending book.
It's chaotic, but at the same time, it's balanced
It's beautiful.
and it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's absolutely fucking wild to think about. I mean, just even the fact that like we exist in this timeline that we do, this fuck ass timeline that we do.
Yes.
The universal dice roll is just, yeah.
Even as a baby, before I was even born, I've had like major things that would have changed my life forever. My bio dad lives in Texas, I could have been like living with him. He wanted custody. I could have not even been here. I could have been raised in Texas. That's so gross. No, it's not. But that's funny. Like, I could have just been a completely different person. Like, maybe I would have been able to be creative my whole life. And my mom didn't call me weird all the time. Maybe I'd be medicated by the time I was a child because my bio dad has ADHD also. So maybe they would have tried to control my creativity and irresponsibility, and I'd be somebody else. I wouldn't be me. There's so many things that could have stopped me from being who I am. Like even the bad things, you know? Like, they may suck, but they built me so that I had enough bad things build up to where I went to therapy, obviously. And that built me even more into a better person. I'm more comfortable being with my emotions, and I'm working on who I am as a person instead of just who everyone needs me to be.
I am so happy that you are who you are, Olivia.
Thank you. It's very sweet of you to say. I'm very happy with who I am also. And I can't wait to see how much I grow.
Me either.
That is so wholesome. I have nothing to say. That's wholesome. That's healthy also. Go to therapy. I haven't yet. I probably should.
Oh my god, I tell everybody to go to therapy. It doesn't even matter how healthy you think you are. My therapist has the same diagnosis that I do. She's got ADHD and anxiety and depression. We're both like the same diagnosis, and she strongly believes that everyone should be in therapy. When she met me, she was completely surprised on how self-aware I was. I was like, oh yeah, I feel like shit, and I think I have depression, and I get anxious and like do like the worry tics, and I think I have anxiety, and I was like, I might have the ADHD too, because everyone's been like pointing out my shit. And the more she like told me about myself, the more I was like, oh yeah, I knew that, but I didn't have a word for it, because the words, they do exist, and they're not just feelings no one else feels. That's one thing that makes you being the center of your own universe horrible, is because you don't know what everyone else is dealing with. You just focus on your own, and you forget that people are complex. They have more going on than you just see. You know, I could be ready to like cry at any moment, but I'd be masking, walking through a store or something, just completely fine, and no one would know. Like, you could be mean to a stranger one second, and they go home and they bawl their eyes out because it was the little flick that knocked their tower over. It's something I consider a lot. I never try to be mean to people. I don't use my horn when I'm driving. Like, I never really like yell at people. I don't try to upset people. That's why I like being nice to people, because you get more with sugar than you do with salt. You never know when you can ruin someone's day.
You never know what's going on.
You could always make someone's day. Like the waitress at the restaurant.
Yo.
I hope that that I complimented her and it made her smile.
Yeah. That definitely made her night.
Just I get a lot of it from my grandma. My grandma's a very sweet person. My mom has stories of her taking in the neighborhood kids and feeding them because they had no food. And my grandma's my idol. I love her so much. I would give the clothes off of my back to somebody just because, like, growing up, my mom would have friends over, and, you know, little girls always want to play dress up and stuff, and I was always, like, a significant amount older than them. So if they tried on clothes that they really liked and they fit them, I would just say keep them, because, you know, it made them smile and made them happy, and I'm not very materialistic at all, so I don't really care. And I can always buy more. It's not a problem. But you can't hand someone money and make them smile. It's never gonna make somebody smile handing them money, because unless they're greedy. But it's not personal. Like, giving someone something that they like, that they want, that they're excited to see, or like surprised, that's so much more thoughtful. Because like money, like giving a gift of money, they get to choose what they wanted, but if you buy them something that they didn't even know they were gonna get, you completely surprise them, like by paying attention to who they are and what they like. And it's just nice. I went off on a tangent a little bit. Thinking about what to buy Tyler for Christmas. I don't know what to buy. I'm already thinking about Christmas. I don't even like Christmas.
Tyler?
No.
Who's Tyler? What is your
Tyler.
name?
John.
John.
Tyler is my friend that lives here. Tyler's my best friend. I've met their parents, and I stayed in New York City for a weekend with them because that's where they live. And it was beautiful. Their parents love me, and Tyler has told me on multiple occasions that I'm the best thing that happened to them since they started college. And I don't think they understand how much I've cried over that statement, because that just makes me feel like such an important person to them, and I'm happy that they feel loved by me. Yeah. I'm finally building my group of friends, and it feels good. I've lost a lot of that. In high school, I didn't have any friends.
Hey!
All my friends stopped talking to me my sophomore year. I ate lunch alone completely on my junior year. If I did eat lunch. I'd sit in the hallway and I'd get in trouble, which is funny because I was definitely not a problem kid. I was Little Miss Perfect all the time. And I don't know. They all became worse people, and I didn't like it. I watched my best friend become a party person and started doing a bunch of stupid stuff, and they all started dating, and I was never really interested in that. It was all just boring to me. Like, I was pretty independent at that point still, and I was happy with it. I didn't want a boyfriend because I had my friends, and I thought that was good enough, but they all grew up and got not really older. People seem to think that getting older means being boring, not having fun anymore, because childish is such a negative term. It's so bad to be childish. I don't know why. My mom seems to think so. My mom is one of the most negative people in my life. Luckily, she doesn't have TikTok, so she wouldn't know I said that. I love her to pieces because she's my mom, but she has given me a negative body image on multiple occasions and complains on how I dress. She caused she's caused quite a few trauma experiences, some big ones, a lot of things to work through. I did have a period where it's like the I hate my mom phase, and I had it a little late because I wasn't allowed to grow up. So I had a car. I had access to my own car, so that was pretty dangerous. I put myself in harm's way a few times going 114 down a rural road. She had the cops called on me. I've had a missing persons called on me from my mom. She used to track me. I wasn't even doing anything bad. I just was hanging out with people she didn't like. And, looking back at it, it's kind of funny. Because I was being so stupid. And, people always say, well, you'll look back and feel horrible at what you did to your mom. But they never seem to consider, how that person felt in that moment.
And
Shouldn't your mom look back and feel horrible about what she's done to you?
yeah, it's a mix of both. Because, there's two sides to a fight. It's never one-sided. Ever.
Parent relationships are always hard because you feel like they do so much to support you in your life.
And you feel obligated.
Yes, you feel.
But you forget.
But then they treat you very poorly.
Yeah, you forget that they're the ones that decided to bring you into the world. You'll hear like, like parents like, oh, I raised you, I brought you into this world. Okay, well you're facing the consequences of your actions, and you hate it because I've become my own person, and you don't like who I've become because it's not who you wanted. My mom wanted a better version of her. She wanted someone who was girly and perfect and, goes to
She didn't
school.
want an individual.
Yeah.
You are an individual.
I am. I'm way more than she ever knows. She thinks she knows me because she's my mom, but she doesn't know much of anything at all. I don't talk to her, and I always feel bad that I don't talk to her because she's my mom, like you said. But, it doesn't always end up well for me. Sometimes it turns out bad, and we get into fights, and that makes our relationship worse. And I've said to my therapist plenty that I always wanted a relationship with my mom. I was always jealous of the girls that had perfect relationships, and like girls on Instagram will be like, my mom is my best friend, happy birthday to my best friend, my mom. And I would get mad because my mom, I would try, but it'd cause problems, it'd cause fights. And masking with your mom doesn't work, in case you wanted to know.
Especially when your mother wants you to be someone for her.
Because I tried so hard to do everything that she wanted. I can't even compromise. I'll go to get my nails done with her on occasion because she wants to do those girly things because I'm her only daughter. That's another problem. And I'll get a color that she doesn't like, and I'll have to hear about it for the next few days. Or I'll buy some shoes that I was really excited for, and she'll complain and tell me that I need to grow up and stop buying stupid things. Or I'll tell her about the things I want to do to my car because I'm big into cars and I like modding out cars. And she'll say it's childish and that it's gonna make my car unreliable, and she doesn't understand.
Sounds like you know more about cars than she does.
I do.
Why does it matter?
Absolutely.
Why does her opinion matter? You're the expert.
Because she wanted someone girly. She wanted a daughter. She didn't want me.
I'm sorry that you have to feel that way. You shouldn't ever.
That's alright. Because I'm happy with who I am. I'm really happy.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, I do not. I believe that there is something. Not specifically one thing. I think that one of my favorite theories, though, is my spirit, my existence, is everyone's. I'm reincarnated as everyone.
The egg.
The egg. I am everyone, everything. I die, I'm reborn as someone else. I am every existence all the time throughout history. Reincarnating is crazy. And then once I am every being in the world and the world dies, I become a stronger being and I move on to a different world. My spirit lives on into that world, and when that world dies, I grow into a stronger being. So maybe there is a God, and he created our world so that he could grow stronger from our souls, and I am his soul, and he's everyone. Or maybe there's nothing. Nobody knows. Because you can't prove it. What are you going to do, come back to life and say, hey, this is what happens? That's why everyone has a different belief. Because they need something to comfort them for death. Because it's terrifying. Because it's unknown. Something their brain can't comprehend. Because what happens next, there is no next.
John, do you believe in God?
Stop giving such solid ass answers.
I'm sorry. I love talking about stuff, man.
No. I mean, it's pretty much along the same lines that she pretty much said, but I don't know, DMT land, or some shit. At the end of the day, I mean, your consciousness is just chemical reactions in your brain.
That's
And
it's
you're-
proven, actually.
What?
It's proven.
The fuck you talking about?
That your spirit is an actual thing that exists. Like, it will pull out of your body.
I would love to read papers on this.
I'll literally get you a book. It's also about reincarnation and how your body moves.
You know, I'm all for Buddhism and all that shit. Like, I love the idea of reincarnation. Like, that shit just truly sounds amazing.
There is literal, like, hypnotherapist evidence. People will go into hypnotherapy and they start with a it's like a trauma work through, and if they are hypnotized longer than that, then they will end up talking about something that happened to their past life, something with like no details that anyone has ever heard of before. Like, there's been someone who was hypnotized and they talked about sitting in the theater, sitting next to someone in the balcony of the theater, talking to people, sitting next to, like, and suddenly it was black. So you know what happened, you know who that is.
Yeah, that's my homie Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. Like, they literally can recount the exact feeling of being there. And what was happening, and, like, what it looked like, what it smelled like.
Question. Do you ever get, like, really crazy deja vu?
Yes. I feel like I've met people before.
Like, earth-shaking deja vu? Like,
Yes.
you've just been shaking?
I work with someone right now who I strongly believe I have met before in my life. But not, like, I have never met her before.
Interesting.
Yeah. I gotta give you guys my TikTok, but I'm getting way too cold.
Yes.
I have to.
If you have
Ride
anything
barefoot
too, we
back
can.
there.
Any last words?
I don't fuck
Any
with
final
social.
That was a lot of words.
That's fair.
Got you.
And
Thank
that's also
you.
my
you
Snapchat if you
senior
ever want
students here,
more
you
words.
I'm a student.
Perfect.
Okay. You
How
go to
old
a
are you
different
guys?
college, or
I just graduated in last spring.
what was your major?